Oh boy, what on earth happened in this episode of Naruto? So a lot of people were complaining about the last week's episode, mainly that it was filled with filler. Boy, have you guys not got fucking great for this week because this episode as well was pretty much filler. Although I didn't mind the filler that much from last week because that was before that I didn't really mind that tail beast like the six tails I think he is. But the problem was, this episode as well showed filler that did not like progress or anything. It made it, unlike the last one with Ukataka, it was actually kind of interesting to find out of him. I hadn't seen the filler with him, but this one with Roshi, we found out nothing about him. It was basically just showing that he got captured by like freaking Kisame and Itachi were there, and it wasn't like an insane fight. We just saw some little Vlada stars, which he's been using pretty much from the start as well, which was very sad that basically the start of the episode was pretty much all filler, and then before it even got like into the opening, we finally got into some canon where B actually goes into tackling all of the Jinchurikis by himself, and we actually see that since all of them have got the Rinnegan, you cannot blind them since it's basically they've got to deal with like the pains again since all of them share the same amount of vision. So it shares like all to like freaking Toby, it shares to like all the Jinchuriki. So they have got a major problem and they realize that they have to deal with the transmitters that they did with the pains and they've got to remove them. And they did see with Yukito that she has one right in the chest, and I like that B was like saying like admiring the view for most of the part like this episode. He was really enjoying it. Like basically to make it easier for themselves, what they did was actually turn it into the Eight Tails and pretty much clear the forest of all of it. I mean, they were having a hard time as it is going against the Tail Beast, especially with the Four Tails as well, with Roshi, since he has his lava style pretty much burning like Naruto's face. And with that, like after they managed to like freaking get out of that way, we got back into like pretty much more filler, like showing everyone fighting and saying like Kakashi is trying to finish off things, he's against Mangetsu. We didn't see any of that fight. We saw like some of like some irrelevant characters like Kuroshichi. We saw like just a few seconds of like everyone else fighting, and it was like this doesn't need to be here right now, and it just felt really unimportant. And pretty much after they cleared the forest, they like B managed to get a ceiling jutsu in there. But the problem is like this looks actually pretty epic. Is when you see all of like the tail beasts go into like their like Naruto like Four Tails mode like that looks pretty cool. Get to see all of them, and they're pretty strong. They're literally hitting them left and right. Like you got freaking Utakata like burning acid into his hand. You got like Yugito as well getting some slashes and all that. You got all of them pretty going in, and then you see Roshi at the end like releasing this huge massive like lava gorge like out of nowhere, and literally like Naruto was stuck because of one of the tail beasts. I think it's the turtle one. I think that's the Three Tails. Used like this coral thing on him and it got him impaled, and literally Toby was now about to touch him at the end of the episode, but luckily he got saved by Kakashi and Guy says this. So that was sort of the cool ending to the episode. However, they did mess up with the animation here and there. Like literally, like freaking at the end of the episode, you see freaking like Toby there, and he hasn't like he's only got little dots to the shot. He hasn't got an actual pupil. I'm like, what the hell's up with that? Like, I'm no like professional animator, but I know since that was just a standing still picture, surely you can just get a bit of MS Paint on that stuff and make a black eye like there. I'm sure that's not too hard. Overall, like this episode, it's like so many issues with it. I mean, there were some cool ass scenes, especially with the Five Tails when he came out and like freaking gorged him. But I don't know what really is happening. Like, why are they putting in like filler when you guys have just dealt with like the fans have dealt with the filler the way too long? Like, it's just ridiculous. But next week, from what it looks like, I don't think there actually is going to be any filler in it. It actually looks like pretty much all canon. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, it looks very good. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think they're going to continue with the whole Jinchuriki filler parts and all that? Like, what did you think of the Roshi part? Was it not that important, unlike the Ukataka one? Do you want to see more of the Jinchurikis? More to that in the series? Let me know in the comment section below. But So like this episode, it was all right, but you know the filler was very not needed. But that's all from me. Everyone, so thank you very much for watching. As always, remember, straight like man up, sign out, and I'll see you next time, people.